probably know, would be to see if we can get Jameis Winston. But I did look up Jameis Winston's contract. He signed a 2-year, $28 million contract with the Saints. Of course, he got benched, but he's got a 2-year contract with the Saints through next year, and he's got like 21 mil guaranteed. So that's a nice contract for my man Jameis, and I don't think that they can trade him in that kind of situation. So we're going to miss out on Jameis, unfortunately. Also, the Dolphins, my hometown team, the Dolphins eked their way into the playoffs after losing. I think they lost like 6 games in a row. They ended up beating the Jets and getting in as the 7th seed in the AFC. The bad part about being the 7th seed is that now they have to go to Buffalo. And not only is Buffalo a great team, but you're playing in Buffalo in January, and they are a stronger team than the Dolphins are, and plus now they're all energized because of what happened to Damar Hamlin, and the fact that he's now getting better, and they had such an outstanding game this past weekend against Patriots. So that's going to be a pretty hard task for the Dolphins. Really, really is. Also, I was looking at California weather. California has been experiencing a very, very active weather pattern with a series of these big areas of low pressure swinging across the West Coast. And just every time they come in, they bring another slew of high winds and moisture. So they had one New Year's weekend, they had one at the end of last week, and now they're getting actually another one today. And so I thought, the national championship is being held at SoFi Stadium in Southern California. So I thought to look, because I'm not real familiar with SoFi Stadium. What I did remember about SoFi was that there was a problem when they were having a heat wave that they don't have air conditioning. So it turns out it's this really beautiful stadium in Inglewood, California, where they made it like indoor-outdoor. So it's got like a translucent roof, and then it's got airways where the breeze can blow in. But the bottom line is that it's going to be interesting depending on how windy it is, because the roof will help to protect them from rain that could be hitting around game time tonight. In fact, I think the weather service there is predicting like an 80 or 90% rain chance around game time. But if it's 30 or 40 mile an hour wind, squalls that are coming through, maybe some of it gets blown, sort of on some of the fans. But it's going to be a great game. Of course, we are pulling for TCU, Horned Frogs. I did wear purple today. Now, I don't have any affiliation with TCU, at least not yet. I don't know. Maybe one of my girls will go there. We'll see. It's expensive. But I'm definitely pulling for the Texas team. Georgia obviously has a great lineage in football. They've been doing great for years and years and years. SEC and all that stuff. But TCU was the total Cinderella story, and the underdog and all that. So I'm definitely rooting for them if I stay up and watch the game, which I probably won't. The last thing I wanted to show you was I want to talk about TikTok. Do you do the TikTok? Being not a spring chicken myself, I'm a little late to the game with TikTok. My daughters have been, well, they go all the way back to before it was TikTok. It was Musical.ly. And Musical.ly was a lot of fun. They did dances and stuff like that. And then, TikTok is just part of the ether now. I mean, it's such a part of society at this point. And I've used it off and on, and I do have some videos, but I've never really tried that hard at it. I have 496 followers, okay, which is kind of embarrassing, I think. But here's the deal. So our new anchor person, who you might have seen on the air, her name is Caroline Collins. And let me tell you, nice person, very professional, came right in and just seems to fit right in. So she's really come in and done very well. One of the things that she's known for is her social media presence, and she has a million and something followers on TikTok. Now, remember, I have 496. So I'm going to tell you right now how many Caroline has. So let's see. And it's Caroline on TV, if you want to follow her, Caroline on TV. And she's got 1.6 mil. So I have 496. So I've got a little bit of catching up to do. So what I was thinking was, see, a lot of what's on TikTok is for, well, dancing, obviously. And, but Caroline's most successful video that she has, which is like 35 million views or something, is sort of like a day in the life of a TV news anchor. And it's kind of neat. You know, a lot of people want to see that. Like, oh, you know, you don't look glamorous necessarily first thing in the morning when you wake up. So, unless you're me, of course. So, you know, she kind of walks everybody through like, okay, I'm waking up. It's 2:30 in the morning, and now I'm eating breakfast, and now I'm brushing my teeth, and now it's off to work, and I've got 1 hour before I'm going to be on the air, the whole thing. You know, what I go through every morning too. But it's just done in a really good way. So what I'm going to try to do, because I'm not good at that kind of thing. I think that's too advanced for me. But I will tell you that there's some people, when I use TikTok, there are a few people that I follow who I really enjoy following. And one of them is a guy named Jeff Locke, and he's a former pro football punter. And let me look him up here. He's really good. So he was a punter for the Minnesota Vikings and then Indianapolis and a couple other teams here. That's Jeff Locke. But the reason that I like him is that he answers people's questions. Like any of the questions that you might have about football, like what happens when a player gets fined? You know, like what are the craziest things you can get a fine for? You know, uniform violations. And what happens when you get cut from a football team? You know, what happens when you get waived or whatever? And, you know, what happens when you get traded? Like he was saying, like if you get traded, you literally get on a plane like that day and go to the, like if you're traded from Indianapolis to Denver or whatever, like you leave that day and you just pick up and go to Denver because you have to be ready for the next week or whatever. So Jeff is really good. And then I call him Jeff like we're friends. And then Chris Gronkowski, you know, he's obviously Gronk's brother. He's his younger brother, but you know, all the Gronkowskis played sports. One was a baseball pitcher and the others were football players, but he's really good too. He's got like 700,000 followers. He's got a lot, but he does the same sort of thing where, you know, he answers questions like, you know, what do you guys do after a game? Do you go straight home or do you go out for dinner or what? Just any question you have. So I thought to myself, that's what I like. I said, I think I can do stuff like that. So what I'm going to try to do is, that light is bothering me. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to make TikTok videos. Yeah. Lord help me. I'm going to make TikTok videos. And oh, by the way, if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's Fox26 Mike. It's very easy. I'm Fox26 Mike on all platforms, like on Twitter and on everything, Instagram. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to do some videos talking about weather things, like maybe weather terms or different tools that we use, you know, do something on radar, do something on satellites, interesting weather phenomenon that we see, clouds, and because I like clouds. I like looking at the sky and seeing things. Most of the time, if you look, you'll see something interesting in the sky. It's just most people don't look. So I thought I would do that, and that might interest some people. And then I thought that I could answer questions, just like the guys that I like do. And I figure people might have a lot of questions about not just because the thing is, I've been doing this for such a long time that I know. Obviously, I know about weather, but I also know just in general, just TV news. I mean, I've been around TV news forever, you know, half my life. So I figured that I would open it up on TikTok to like anybody that has any questions about being a meteorologist, being on television, any questions that they might have about the weather or about being on TV or about being a meteorologist who's not on TV or about being somebody on TV who's not a meteorologist. You know what I mean? Just all kind of questions. So I'm going to try to do that because, like I said, I have 496 TikTok followers. And Caroline has 1.6 million. So I've got some work to do. So anyway, give me a follow at Fox26Mike, and I'm going to really try to put some decent stuff together. I will. So anyway, the way I always end my Mondays with Mike is to give a shout out to my brother Neil and my mom, who are the only ones who watch, I think, all the way to the end every week. So I can always count on you guys. Hope to see you soon. And go Dolphins in the playoffs. We got a tough game against the Bills. That is going to be a tough one, but we will see how the Dolphins do. And also, Lovey Smith, I feel bad about Lovey Smith. So Lovey, if you're watching, you're a good guy. Hopefully you'll land someplace that you enjoy. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me for Mondays with Mike. Have a great day.